Thank you, beloved.
Yes, sir.
If you have any questions, if you'd like to deal with the upcoming semester for metaphysical psychology, where we teach the methodologies that I just spoke of over a 3 month period, you can go to uksnow.org. I think my beloved brother already posted that. And you
Mm.
can sign up. We begin the next semester on the 23rd of March. So you have enough time to actually register. You can go in and read and check out what's going on. There are also testimonials to our metaphysical psychology courses. You could press the testimonial link and read what other people have achieved. And we have dealt with superstars from all different walks of life, as well as regular brothers and sisters who are dealing with their own lives. And also for you who know that the education system is the deducation system. The deducation system is warping our children, telling them that they're not male or female and so forth, and just destroying everything that we have put down for our children. If you want your children to get a good education that is based in their culture, check out ismhomeschool.org, ismhomeschool.org. And for those of you who wish to either become partners, who wish to actually get the tower garden so you can grow your own food in your own home, or you wish to get the Juice Plus that is powerful that I take, that I personally take, and I think that you love it, you can talk to someone about it. Her name is Nanette Hill. This is my daughter in law. And you can text her at 404 543 3245. Once again, 404 543 3245. Text her first so that she can get back to you. Tell her that I referred you and you would like more information on either becoming a partner so that you could promote JP, or you want to get the Tower Garden or the four blends of the so-called the four blend pattern of the Juice Plus. Other than that, the 800 for the exemptions, knowledge exemption information, and that would be 800 847 1291. That's 800 847 1291. Lastly, if you're having difficulty signing up, you can always tap into my email, which is Sunnu, SUNNU. That's S as in science, U, N as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, U, 777 at gmail.com. And in the subject box, put down in all caps webinar. In that way, with the hundreds of different email I get, I can go right to your email and deal with whatever situation you have. Now, don't try to get in contact with me while I'm in the webinar because I cannot answer you. Please. And people are trying to get at that particular time. Beautiful. Anyway, just make sure that when you are dealing, read all of the instructions that my wife and Brittany has placed for you to understand and enjoy the upcoming webinar so that there's no problems. All right. In that case, if anything else having to do with, consultations for health and the whole 9 yards, the 800 number, 847 1291, 800 847 1291 for whatever spectrum of services that we have. And once again, beloved brother, this is just a smorgasbord. I enjoy this so much when we are dealing, when we're talking to the people and we're kind of hitting it back and forth and we're
Oh
building
yeah.
together. I
Oh
love
yeah.
you, brother. Talk to me anytime, call me anytime. I'm here.
Also, I seen Danny, you came on the show before during Q&A. She asked about questions. Doc will be on the show one more time before the webinar, and it's gonna be an exclusive Q&A with the
Hmm.
people to get us
Yes,
ready for the webinar.
yes.
So, Danny, I know you had a question, and I know some of you, some of the other people in the chat had questions. Keep your questions. We're going to do a show specifically dedicated for Q&A right before the webinar to get everybody ready for the webinar. So stay tuned for that. We're not getting into it tonight, but stay tuned for that. You can ask a question right
Hmm.
before the webinar when we do that Q&A show.
Solid.
And one last quick thing, Doc. One last
Hmm.
quick thing. No, you ain't got to take no more than 60 seconds.
No, no problem.
Some more OG. I'm just me actually talking to an OG. I heard you early in the conversation say uh, you referenced Dr. Nalani, and you also said you was talking about back in the day, and you said when you had wives, plural. I'm just curious, what's your thoughts on, because a big conversation happening with the black man is polygamy versus having one wife. What's your thoughts on your experience, not what you read in history, but your experience about having multiple wives versus having one wife, and what might benefit us culturally right now in this present day and moment?
Well, the first thing you have to have are actual feminine women.
Right.
You can't have women that are masculine and want to contest your authority. And second of all, unless you are a master and you understand human nature and you're a good man at heart, a moral man, a decent man, a strong man, a man that has ethics and morality and is ready to raise children in an exclusive household, because man has always been polygamous. Males have always been polygamous. It was the Catholic Church that ended that so that they stopped the ability for our people to procreate under a system that essentially was what kept the balance of all things, because females outpace us in the birth rate. Most people don't know that. And another thing that the feminists believe, was the fact that um, I think it was during the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, there was a lot of deaths of young boys. Boys were dying off
Hmm.
more than girls at birth, especially
Hmm.
in the black community. Why?
Hmm.
Well, they said, well, the feminists jumped in and said, "That's because the female is superior," and so forth. Bullshit. It takes a hell of a lot of energy to actually create a boy in your belly, sisters.
Wow.
Boy takes more materials, more nutrition, and what the boy does, because when the seed opens up the egg and starts the process, I always say there's no such thing as everybody starts out as a female. That too is bullshit. In my book, The Wounded
You,
Womb,
yeah,
yeah, I show that it's a lie. That's
but
a
you don't
lie.
you don't have the phallus. You don't
No,
have your
listen.
thing.
No, listen. The intention, they always tell you that the male is the one who determines gender, right?
Hmm.
But people don't know why that is. There are two different vibrational energies that male carry on them. There's feelings and desire. This is the yin and the yang energy that flows through the body. Feelings and desires. Okay? Feelings are feminine, desire is masculine. If the male is now exuding and is absorbed in his desire energy, he has changed the vibrational spin of his sperm, and you got a boy.
Ooh.
If you have a male that's in his feelings totally, he changes, and everybody say, well, that's all bullshit. Oh man, this is all schlock science. No, it isn't, because when I told everybody back in late 1984 that when the seed of the male goes through the zona pellucida and ends up in the center of the egg, there's an atomic explosion, and that opens the actual portal for the soul to start its process in. Everybody laughed at me and said that's schlock science. No, now science found out that is true. So
Mm.
what I'm saying to you is based on metaphysics, physics that's beyond the Europeans' perception and reality. So what happens is there's two different parts to this. Whatever it is that's within the male in that particular programming of the sperm, that the specific gender is already tabulated.
Mm.
Once that happens, There are two different forms for the male and the female. There is what is called the Wolffian duct, and there is something called the Gaffian follicle.
Mm.
If it's the charge in the sperm is dealing with the male, the first thing that happens is that the Wolffian duct is formed. So it begins to go down and it keeps going down and then it spreads and then you have the testicles. But if it's a Gaffian follicle that's formed based upon the programming of the sperm, then the follicle starts like this, but then
Mm.
begins to separate into two sides, which will become the fallopian tubes and the uterus.
Mm.
So that only happens at the point where the zygote begins to make its formulation into whatever the consciousness charge of that sperm had placed into the process.
Mm.
So there is no female born, you're all born female and then you change to male. That's bullshit. That's the Europeans' way of thinking and talking. So
Mm.
when that happens, as you come in, I forgot what the original question is. I have to make sure you said that the question was what again? Bring me back.
Well, I was asking about your experience between having
Oh, yes.
one
And
wife. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. Well, you have to have a female, feminine women who actually love one another as sisters. That's the thing. If you don't have that, then you're going to have a problem.
Mm.
They have to be compatible and they have to love you in such a way, and you have to provide them each with their own domicile.
Mm.
Each one of them has to have their own home, their own car, if they have their own, what do you call it? But again, today, no. Today, the women are not ready for this kind of energy because the white woman has completely warped the black woman's mentality into believing that she is independent, that the black man does not have any power, so he does not have his control, or he does not have the authority over her. And she's actually, drank that Kool-Aid to believe that. They're coming back now. They're beginning to understand that they cannot be men. I always said to this is in my book as well. Women are not men and cannot do what men do. They can only imitate what they see men do.
Mm.
So you cannot be me. And every time you jump out of your space of peace and try to be me, then you bring an extra burden upon yourself. You
Mm.
become masculine, and then you trying to meld with a masculine man, you clash.
Mm.
Because those two energies are like magnets that you turn, and if they're equal poles, you notice they resist one another.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm,
this
mhm.
is what they've done to us. They've flipped the magnetic and electric poles on women and made them believe and take on actions. And look at what they want to box. One woman wants to box Meriwether. She just got her behind knocked out by a guy that hardly. I mean, he's not even listed. And they're really told that they can do what men do. And a lot of them are now saying, I'm tired. I can't understand why it is that, they wanted us to do this. It's madness. Yeah, well, my body as a man was made to deal with stress, not yours. I have a
Right.
denser muscle mass. I have larger lungs. I have the capability of thinking fast. When shit goes sideways, I get angry and stoic. When shit goes sideways for you, you start getting flipped out and start to cry.
Mm.
That is not that is not what men do unless you've made him feminized.
Mhm.
I can go through a whole lot of a litany of things that women have adopted that they drank the Kool-Aid and really it's so sad how the older generation is teaching the younger generation how to fail.
Mm.
The older feminists are teaching the younger feminists, younger women, how to fail. And they're failing at relationships, and they're thinking that they can do as men do from the time they're 18. See, women are born with their value. When you're young and you're tight and your nipples are pointing straight up to the ceiling and everything about you is young and beautiful, yeah, Mother Nature gave that to you. But guess what? When you're getting into your 25, 29s, 30s, that's when Father Time takes it away. So What are you doing between that time? Feminism has told you you need to get out and work. You need to get your career. You need to become a boss babe. You don't need no man. You know, this is all the programming you've been given, sister. You don't even know how to be feminine. And just say the word submit. Oh my God, back up. Submit. They call women who take care of homes and raise children slaves. You really believe that, white woman? And these are white women who are rich, who had rich husbands. Those are the ones that started the feminist movement. And your girl, what's her name? Um, what's her name? The woman who started, the white woman who was CIA.
Singer, Margaret.
Not Margaret Sanger. That's the
Oh,
person.
Gloria.
Gloria Steinem.
Glorious, yeah,
What
yeah.
she said at the end, she said she wished that she had actually, she was out of her mind, and that she wished she had just gone ahead and married a man and settled down and had children. That's what she said at the end. And
Uh,
look at how she's destroyed lives. Yes, I had a lot of problems trying to deal with more than one woman. But then when you have women that are actually all bringing resources to one place, when you have the children who know that they have more than one places to go for affection, people are taking care of them. Children know that they talk about it being a village that raises the child. Yeah. But today, there's this selfishness that women have taken on, which is essentially a masculine principle. Women are ones who share. They actually are communal in nature. You know, they want to bring happiness. They want to bring peace. They don't want peace. Women don't bring peace today. They go into what they call shit testing their boyfriends and husbands. Well, if I had died, is there one woman that you know that we would want to marry? And the man is over there shaking in his boots, seeing whether or not, if he doesn't have the right answer, that he's going to have to sleep on the couch, or he ain't going to get no kind of sex for the next month if he answers wrong. What kind of nonsense is that? And that's what women are doing today. They're stepped out of the place where it is that the Creator has set them down to be. And that is the one who exudes love, the one who brings the love chakra and the energy up in the male, who soothes his fevered brow. The man would do anything. A man will lay his life down for you if he loves you. You don't have those men today. They don't care about you. What the women are saying, "Oh, why are men not helping us anymore? Why? Because you said we could live without you, and you don't need to open the door. I can open the door myself, and all this kind of nonsense. And y'all are really believing that? No. Once you come back into the fold and want to raise a family like no other can. And you see, here's the other thing. I'm gonna close with this. I don't want to ramble on too much because this is a whole other subject I could take a few hours on.
mm,
Do you know that they did a study of over 100,000 households, and they found out that in single parent households, that children raised by a single parent who's a man fares better or just as well as children raised in a parental household, whereas children raised in a single parent household with a woman or female are more prone to suicide, dropping out of school, crime, the whole 9 yards. So even your maternal instinct needs that masculine principle in the home for the society, the community, the family to be stable. And you have kicked him out of the home. And we have actually made him superficial. The black man is superficial now. They took away his ability to have jobs. They say it's his fault when you have taken away all the abilities you've given to the little white children. White males have all these and white females have all these perks based upon what they inherited. Of course, the black man has to work twice as hard. So anyway,
hey, I
uh,
see you
it's
went off, Doc. I mean,
ridiculous. But
wow.
I mean, I'm not angry with our sisters.
Yeah.
It's just I'm angry with the fact that they still are, with everything that has shown itself to be in our society today, with our children, and with the fact that there are no men in the homes, and that women are out there by themselves and playing these games that this woman with the brick woman,
Yeah.
what's the brick woman? What's her
Yeah.
name?
I forgot her name, but I know what you're talking
That is
about.
one wicked bitch. She hates men. She's gay, and you know that thing with the face. She was in a clinic. She wasn't in the hospital
Right,
because she
right.
tried to do something with her face. You know the things that they put into the face.
What,
Uh,
Botox?
yeah, she was doing a self thing, and that blew up out of there, and she had to go to the clinic. One of the nurses that was in the clinic outed her on that, but she
Yeah,
was using that to try to get over.
yeah.
Anyway, all them people that were talking about, and this other people, all these simps, male simps that came out. I wonder what they were talking about. I hate simps.
Oh man.
All the guys, get where are your testicles and who's got them in their purse? What woman have you handed your testicles over to? It's sickening to watch these simps who come in there to defend women who are doing the wrong thing. It's go. Listen, in my 70s, I could talk shit. I could talk about it because I can actually spot a simp or a cuck or
Oof.
somebody who is a white knight coming to the rescue of certain women who have been doing all the wickedness in the world. You need to really judge yourself and see what it is that you're doing. And now that oh baby, in my book I did this like 10, 15 years ago. I call it parasitic parenting. Now they're finding out that Tennessee just started a law that says that before you sign a birth certificate, you need to take a DNA test. The women went hog ass wild. Why should we
Mm.
have to take a DNA test? Don't you trust me? No, not today. Not today.
Doc, Doc, let me get you off this line, man. Doc, Doc said, Doc
Not
said,
today.
no.
Now, you
Oh
women know,
man.
I don't have to lie. Women know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. We know that.
yeah, yeah.
No, 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 no. Not today. The only
Oh
ones that are
man.
going crazy about that are the ones who are out there hoeing and scoring, got 30 and 40 bodies.
Whew. Doc unfiltered right now, y'all. Oh man.
Sorry about that. Love my sisters, but I hate what they do sometimes. And
Doc,
I
I
hate the
appreciate.
brothers.
Yeah.
I hate when the
No, Doc.
brothers do it too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doc, I always appreciate your honesty. I always appreciate you
Mhm.
coming on here, dropping the science and everything else, my brother. We all looking forward to the webinar, and I will see you right before the webinar. We're gonna do a Q&A with the people this time. Let them talk to you, ask questions. Until then, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Dr. Valentine, and I will see everybody next time. All right. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Thank you for your patience. You see who's in the building. It's going to be on tonight. It's going to be on. I know it's Sunday night. A lot of people got to get ready for work tomorrow. So we're not going to be too long, but we are. Oh, this is going to be powerful. This is going to be potent. Listen, family, as usual, get comfortable. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family that we are live. Let me get to a quick commercial, and then I'm going to come other than Dr. Phil Valentine. Welcome back, my brother.
Thank you so much for your kind invitation and for you helping me to bless your platform once again. Your platform is legend, brother. I'm telling
Thank,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was just on the live with Blue and Red yesterday, and I
Ah,
was telling them we was talking about some of the legends within the community that came and that have been here and made an impact. And I was just saying, like, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now without y'all. So I want to thank you and everybody who was in your contemporaries and everybody who came before you for allowing me to occupy this space. And I promise to make the best of out of this space. And I tell you, I'm gonna roll with you till the wheels fall off, Doc. And then when they fall off, we gonna get out and
we
walk.
gotta walk. That's it.
We gonna
That's
get out
it.
and walk.
That's it.
Hey, family, listen. As we get started, and I gotta pin this in the chat. Let me show y'all something real quick. Y'all know Phil is this type of brother who a lot of it gets banned. Let me find a link. Banned from the YouTube and the main platforms, and channels get suspended. So what the brother does is he has a safe place for people to come and learn and ask questions and get valuable information that can help us. And that's what he's doing next Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
14.
yeah, it's going down next Sunday. I see some of y'all already got your tickets. Phil, could you tell them real quick, my brother, about what's happening next Sunday as we get started?
Well, I would tell people to start getting their pads and pencils out. I'm going to be dropping a heck of a lot of material, and I have to clump it together because 2024 is going to be an unstable year. Unstable in that a lot of people are not going to be prepared for what they got going on. If you want to know what's going on, go back into your teachers, I mean, the brothers and sisters like this platform, and to go and check with everything that everybody was saying because everything will become relative in 2024. It's an 8 year, and this year, everything that's above will come below. Anything that's karmic will now hit. So if there are specific things that you see happening in the world today that looks like it's out of control, control is coming, but it's going to come at a kind of disruptive phase. It's going to come disrupting things that are complacent. So you have to be ready for amenities like electricity, like your
Mm,
food, your
mhm,
water. All
mm,
these things have to be clear. Now, the enemy, and I call him the adversary, is now ratcheting up to 2030. And what happens is with Trump in there, he delayed it 4 years, so to speak. They have to catch up now, and so there's a specific thing coming in on the 30th, 2030, that solidifies whatever you're doing up to that point. So the so-called deep state has to get all of their agenda going. It has to be all in place. But because they're rushing, it's all shutting down. Things that they want to happen is like they're waiting for stuff to cook, but they're pulling it off the stove too soon. Now they wanted to get us on electrical cars and electrical trucks and all that, but the electricity is not available at the mass level that they want. So electric cars are breaking down. And nobody wants to buy an electric car anymore. And that's what I've been saying for the last 2, 3 years. Don't deal with any cars, electric cars, because that's a trap. That's the deep state's trap. And I know there's a lot of people that may have an electrical car, but I would say to you, get yourself a good gas guzzler, or if you can find an old car that don't have any of the chips in it, it's going to be, I guess, new old school is going to be the new school, and that's why I call it constructs of the new old order. Now, if you look at the way I'm breaking it down, who, what, when, where, and why, the who, what, when, where, and why is going to be somewhat tedious to people who don't have an attention span for listening, learning, taking notes, because we're such, you know, instant gratification. We don't want to hear the minutia. We don't want to see what went into the plan. And that's why we keep getting fooled. We don't know who the enemy is. We don't know his tactics. We don't understand who he is and where he came from. So the who, what, when, where, and why is going to break down who it is that's behind the curtain and what they're going to do to try to enslave us or to get us deeper into the slavery we're already in. The how is going to tell you how they're going to do it and the countermeasures that you need to take. So the guy that you see sitting in the middle there, Klaus Schwab, he's saying he's the one with the mantra, you will own nothing and be happy. He's the one as the forerunner. His father was a Nazi. His father was into eugenics. In fact, the place where his father's factory was the center for German eugenics, which they learned from the United States of America. So, for those of you who want to understand what's really going on and not listen to your so called ABC, NBC, CBS to know what's going on behind the curtain, know that this is a PhD class. This is for you to sit and to know and to get your, put aside anything that you have to do, say a day before or right before it happens. Don't eat too heavily, sleep. If you want to stay up with me for the 8 to 10 hours, 11, sleep well the night before. Don't eat too heavily the night before or the day of. And just be ready to go to school like you ain't never been schooled before. And I'm not just blowing smoke and blowing bubbles. I'm doing this because I may maybe, you don't know the 2024, you may not be able to do this again. They may be shutting everybody down or at least causing great difficulty for this kind of message to get out because they know that too many people are prepared for what's getting ready to come and they're worried about that. So we got to get this information out to each other. And I was talking to a brother who is trying to raise some, if I may, Brother Rich,
Mhm.
there is going to be a, a viewing for raising funds at the so-called REFAL headquarters at 269 South Ninth Street, Newark, New Jersey. There is a donation, and I can't say what that is, but I am, anybody who's out there listening to it, I don't have any telephone number. He didn't leave a telephone. Oh, yes, he did. 862-368-1819. Again, 862-368-1819. It's a fundraiser to maintain and keep the center open. The brother wants to maintain a conscious center. So I would ask that you at least assist and to support what the brother is doing with a viewing of my program. Give him permission to view my program and to raise the funds on that as well. All right. So that said, I'm open to anything that you're ready to deal with, beloved brother. Whenever you're ready.
Indeed, we're gonna be on here for about an hour. I might take a couple of calls from the people in the chat as
Mhm.
everybody gets ready for this dynamic presentation Phil is gonna offer to us next Sunday. But just gonna chop it up with Phil for a little while before then. Somebody in the chat was asking about the link. It's pinned at the top of the chat. So if you need the link to get tickets for next Sunday's webinar, it's pinned at the top of the chat. Phil, that website you was working on, what's the how's that coming along with all
Oh,
your
right. The what's her name? My wife's sister is powerful. She made up. Well, you see all the sites we have. That's her.
okay.
So what happened is she fell ill. She had gotten the flu, so that delayed it, and
Uh,
she had to go to the hospital, and so we had to chill for that for a little while. But we're going to see sometime by spring. We're going to get that up,
uh,
and it's going to be called Webin Archive. And Webin Archive will have all of my webinars going back years, so that people can stream it for a nominal price, so we can maintain, food and so forth. Thank you, Cheryl.
indeed. Yeah, Cheryl got her ticket. Cheryl is not playing. Somebody want to know what needs to be done to get ready? Just pen and pad, right?
What you need to do as far as to get ready to be done, uh, what you have to have is, first of all, stamina, and you're going to have a concentration, a type of an acumen for concentration and for taking notes. Okay. Now, I don't mind people taking private notes, but not private notes to exploit later on in such a way as to, do something with co-op, what is a kind of a small business for me and my wife, so we can, in our age, in our 70s, that we can chill and don't have to be going out to look for a job and stuff like that. So every time we do what we do, we ask for a nominal fee that's within the reach and the bounds. But the main thing is, we don't mind if you see something on the screen when I'm doing the program and you think that you need that, take a picture of it. I don't mind, for your own archive so that you could remember it. But jotting down notes and listening to what I have to say, because I'm doing a lot of reading. I started this, you remember, I started this, Rich,